I'd like to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Sorry for getting getting started late. I was in Osceola, had to pick up a video, had to rush back home. Then my phone started ringing. Then I had to set up. Then my mother-in-law called me. So I'm just late. But anyway, you all sit with me. We're going to be talking about some issues that occurred down in Osceola, Arkansas. A lady who was injured received an eye injury while the police stood by and they looked on. So we're going to talk about that today, okay? So y'all sit tight and we will be coming back to crank this show up, okay? Again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say welcome to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Trying to get my camera together. And I want you all to sit with me, hopefully for about 45 minutes. We're going to try to hold it there, okay? But as I indicated, we got some things that we want to talk about today that occurred down in Osceola, Arkansas. We're going to show a video to establish that it was true that a lady received an eye injury, or she endured an eye injury as a result of a man who showed up at her house with the police, and they tried to do what is called an eviction. Claimed to have had what is called a writ of possession. A writ of possession is simply where normally you go through the eviction process, and to receive that writ of protection, a writ of possession, the writ of possession is simply where the landlord is attempting to get back his or her property. In other words, they want the tenant gone. And to do that, you have to go through the legal process. That's the final step to where you have a hearing in court. And if you prevail, the court will give you what is called a writ of possession. And so normally the sheriff department get involved. I don't normally know too many times that the police officers get involved, but the sheriff department is the one who get involved. And, they pretty much stand by and watch, the process play out in terms of the eviction. But if the person is refusing to leave the property, then that's when the sheriff department, my understanding, they would physically begin to start removing things from the house or apartment or what have you, and give the landlord an opportunity to get his or her property back. Okay. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And to establish something right now, to establish the show, want to go over here and try to play a video, okay? That's what I want to do. I want to play a video for you all where you all can simply see for yourself exactly what happened at the home, okay? And so let's go ahead and pull up that video right now, if we may. And then we're going to come back and we're going to begin to start getting into, some Q&A. And after the Q&A, I give my final remarks, and that will conclude the show. Okay. So I want to make sure I'm going to go to my board right now and see if anybody's saying something to me. Because normally I have people that say, we can't hear you. And so I'm going to turn my comment board on now. Make sure that I have it on. So I got my comment board on now. And so if there is anyone who wants to send me a message for whatever reason or what have you, you can do that. And also, for those of you who might want to tune in to the show, and you don't want to leave you don't want to leave a comment, but you might want to call in. You can call in. That's my number there that's scrolling across the screen, 870-740-1515. You can call into the show, Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify, and you can go ahead and share your comments with the audience, okay? Just be respectful, all right? Okay, so let's go up here and play this video right now, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get into a little discussion, a little Q&A, okay? Oh, before I get started, I don't know why I didn't do that, but I need to do that now. Many people always think that I am a lawyer. I am not an attorney. And I'm putting my disclaimer up there right now. It simply say to you, I am not an attorney. This information is to inform and educate you, okay? If you have any legal issues, I will direct you to where you can get help. It may be an attorney, it may be some agency, or what have you. But just to be clear, I am not an attorney, and I do not pass myself off as an attorney. This is for information and to educate, to inform and to educate. Can't get my words out. But anyway, let's go ahead and play this video, okay? Let's do that now. And you all can send me a comment or whatever if you can't hear it, but I'm thinking that we shouldn't have no problems, okay? Okay. All right. Go up here and turn it on right now. Okay. Almost there, y'all. Almost there. Okay. Now, just need to get it to play now. Got the video up there. We just need to get it to play. Okay. Okay. I'm always having this problem, huh? Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Had everything set up, and now we have this. Okay. Okay. Had this thing playing at first, y'all. Now it's giving me problems. Okay, go back in here and do it again. All right. I'm going to pull this up again, you all. like I'm having a little problems here again with my video share screen. Okay, here we go right here. Okay, we're going to try this one and see what it does. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to try to add it now. It should be, don't have any audio right now. As we get into the video, you should begin to start receiving some audio. Okay.
I think it's a back door back here too. There's somebody earlier. Simple thing. I think they had a call with earlier today. I think the landlord here to change the locks on the door. I think somebody here earlier. I'll go over here. Maybe down here.
I don't know if she's still here or not. They told me change, that we changed the locks at 8:45 and they knew when them changed it.
Looks a lot like that's our shift manager. He's gonna be able to fill in more. So were they previous renters or?
I seen somebody here earlier sitting here, the door wide open.
No, see, she worked for Phil and she was terminated the 25th and she was supposed to move out.
Yeah, but the problem is that she's claimed some sort of residency here. You know, I don't understand the legality of that, but he'll know a lot better than we will. Yeah. But I mean, if there's, you know.
They got a
What
picture
is
to
it,
her.
a right of something, like writ of possession? The attorney, their attorney has already sent everything to Officer Carr.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to get everything in. To this. But
What's
change
that now?
locks on the door and they already changed calls in. Look, from that on.
They told me that we could take possession of it at 8:45 and like for me to change the locks and everything. I don't know.
They can't call
I'm
in.
just,
Here, change the
I've
lock.
got Megan on the phone if you need to talk to her. Megan.
Okay,
Hey, how are you?
alright.
So what's going on? Why can't we take possession of this property?
We can't get into the property and nobody comes to the door at all.
Okay, well, she's already been served. She was served 6 days ago. Her attorney responded late. We have the writ of possession. My attorney has already contacted Officer Carr. She's well aware we're coming also. It's a rental property, so we have keys and we have the right to enter the property. So what do we do now?
I had
Because she's volatile. She's volatile, she's unhinged. She's going to tell you that Jimmy and Angela are there to attack her. I can already tell you what she's about to do because she does not want to leave this property. She's not paid rent in 8 months. She has been horrible to get out of this property. We need her gone.
Okay.
I'm losing money daily here.
Okay.
Has she been served eviction notice?
Yes, she was served an eviction notice 8 days ago. She was served a writ of possession. Well, let me just pull up Arkansas case now.
Yeah, because it's a little bit different. We had the paperwork where we can look at all that stuff.
Here's what my attorney texted me.
Is there anybody?
Just now getting up to speed with
I took it earlier. I think a lady standing right here with the door wide open.
Yeah, there was an ordeal earlier today that happened.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we try to enter that vehicle half now. Come on, like one to half now. See if she in there.
She's in there, trust me.
Good to go in. Good shit.
And the attorney said if we needed, he could write a letter on the letterhead if anything to what was said on this phone conversation. The police department and city officials have official notice of the writ of possession at the circuit with the county and the county sheriff's premises. If there are any issues on this phone, the attorney said.
Well, what was going on earlier, Jimmy? Everybody was out.
We were told we could come change the lock, and she was,
We was told we could do it then,
Uh-huh.
and, I seen the guys over here to do it. Well, while they was in the middle of doing it, she come up with, I guess, some day shift maybe, or something, and, they told them that we had to leave until they got paperwork. We was under the impression that she already had paperwork, it was on the door or something, but I don't know, there's a miss up there, somebody didn't
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, she got the papers, and then we come in blindsided without, you know, having paperwork on the papers in hand, of course, you know. everything.
You know, I sent my, I got a call and told them,
Uh-huh.
go do it.
So
You know-
your key ain't working?
No, I gotta go, I got another set of keys,
Oh,
but
yeah.
probably not, I'll probably have to go through a window to change the lock. But, I mean, it was,
she did get served the right of possession. That, I've got a copy of it. I think, Megan, didn't you send me a copy of that?
Angela,
Yeah.
I think it's 3 weekends.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Oh, crap. It was taped to the door. Why is it not one of these?
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, just be patient.
But, if you can read any of that.
oh, you see.
Don't know if we'll listen to all this, but we're gonna try to listen to most.
But, yeah,
most of it
we're supposed to.
to get an understanding
Hello?
of what's going on.
Okay. Now it's 9 o'clock. We're gonna go slow.
Hey, can you send a clearer copy of that,
Yeah, well, if you can send that eviction notice where it shows it's on, where it shows it's been served on her in case she's still inside the property.
Okay, well, we're here, and the cops here don't know anything about what's going on, and there's no paperwork. They haven't seen any paperwork.
Mind you, the cops don't have any paperwork that they're looking at. They don't even have an understanding of what's going on. Keep in mind.
I've got you on speaker. We're,
Corporal Treadway. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they stamped it out there at the sheriff's office, but they filed it at the courthouse. Yeah.
We'll be getting to the
I just had to go
injury
through
in a
the
little bit.
window, these ain't working.
yeah, I just pulled it up.
You got a copy of the eviction notice? Yeah, I just need to see that in case, she's, still inside this house here.
They don't know if
Yeah, I
she's
mean,
inside the
well,
house.
yeah, none of the keys ain't working to get in either.
No one have
I'm
keys,
just gonna open the window.
and this guy is saying that
if
he
it's
can
okay.
go through the window. Okay, now look like he got
I
the
thought I
keys
had
to
a
go
copy
through the
of
window.
it.
Did you try the keys on the other door? How many doors is on this house?
Oh, okay.
She's inside the house. They don't know though. Mrs. Cindy.
I went here earlier, I seen somebody sitting outside.
What's that?
What's that?
What's wrong?
Let me get it.
Okay, now he's trying to get inside the house. I don't know. He's trying some keys or whatever, but he's going to find out that those keys don't work.
See, they was here changing locks today, and they stopped it before we get done, and they left the key in there with the other lock.
Yeah.
So,
Did you hear that?
yeah,
I think
mine
they
ain't
had
gonna work.
already
It's done
attempted
changed.
to
See, I was
lock her
told
out.
3 weeks ago, don't come back until they got the paperwork done.
It is illegal to lock
Lock her own door.
a tenant out of their home without going through the proper court procedures.
I'm sure it's going back to work.
Can't lock them out without going through the final court procedure.
Never explained.
Those of you who have problem with your landlord, you might want to watch this and learn something, okay? Your landlord cannot lock you out of your home without going through the final process. which
Yeah,
is-
that's the only bad thing about putting it on somebody's door without like physically handing it to them, because then you try to, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. You know, I can say, yeah, it was, but it blew off. Yeah, I understand that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it probably was loose.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Like we're going around the house. They're trying to find entry into the house, which they finally decide we better go through the window where the air conditioner is at.
Well, he's trying to figure out how to get into the house.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out how we're gonna get in.
Hey, she's in there.
Now they say she's in there.
Well, the police is right here.
Open the vehicle, open the door.
Okay, this is the air conditioning. You see that? See the spotlight?
You're a felon in possession of a gun?
She's in the window looking at you.
He
Ma'am.
does not have a gun. My husband does not have a gun.
Ma'am.
Cindy?
You gonna have to.
He does not have a gun.
Jimmy, do not break in my house again.
Ma'am, you gonna have to leave the property.
Again.
You're not.
My attorney's on the phone. Oh, God! Jimmy, oh, my God! You know, my God, I'm bleeding.
Who's
That-
attorney or lawyer?
Jimmy was trying to get the air conditioner. She popped up and he had it up over his head
She
and
popped up?
it fell.
She lived there.
And now she's saying he could have killed her.
What do you mean she popped up?
I mean, the cops are standing right here. I mean,
That's
if
right.
he was a
That's what
threat
make
to
it
her,
worse.
I
They're
think they would
standing
have
right
done
there.
something.
David, now.
It's breaking and entering.
Come to the door.
Man, come to the front door.
Come to the front door.
All right, come front door.
Stop it.
Man, I'll meet you at the front door, all right?
Come to the front door. Lay it down.
Okay.
It's done to my head, y'all.
Do you need any?
Yeah. Look.
She's
He's
showing
not
her.
coming in, David said.
Showing her injury.
David Burnett said the order has been dismissed and you know it. Look what he did to my head, y'all.
I see. I got you messing around.
He's not coming in until David Burnett says so. I can't see. Sorry. And the police were here today. No, look at my head.
I see
You
it.
see it.
David, the police are here, and Jimmy's here with some girl, and he threw I don't know, but Jimmy literally threw the air conditioner on my head.
She's
and
speaking
my
with her attorney,
eyeballs
David
were
Burnett,
swollen
on the phone
on my
right now.
shirt. Yeah, they were right outside the window. David, you have to do something.
I'm trying to do something right now. Did the officer see him throw something at you?
It's the AC. He tried to get in through the window through the AC, and the AC, he pushed it on me. And my eyes almost shut.
Okay,
Well, here's the officers. Do you have anything to say?
yeah, I want to talk to him.
There you go.
Hello. I'm Sean Fagan.
Can you hold this, please? Yeah, there you go.
Hey. Hello? Yeah, go ahead. It's off hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want that writ served today. You might be able to serve it tomorrow, but it's a bad writ. They know that. It's not a court order. The clerk issued it by mistake. All he's got is a writ of possession, and the girl has never had her day in court, never been before a judge.
That's right.
And this is
I couldn't get a hold of the judge this afternoon, but I'll have one in the morning, I guarantee you that.
And this is Burnett with Mississippi County.
Yes.
You got Corporal Treadway's phone number?
Whose number?
Let's wait. We'll take it far. Let's speak out.
Who is this?
This is Officer Hammond. Let's see. I control manager.
Yeah, I
David
don't
Burnett
want
wants to
that
speak with
writ
you.
served tonight. They know it's not supposed to be served. I couldn't get a judge this afternoon, but I'll have one tomorrow.
With David Burnett. Hey, Judge Burnett is still there. Oh, we're getting it taken care of right now. Oh, right.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. I'm handling it right now.
All right, tell that guy to leave her alone and get the hell away from there until he
I hear you, Burnett. Get the hell away from there.
Oh, all right. Okay. You take care of it now.
All right, who am I talking to now?
This is Officer Heyman.
All right, you tell that guy to leave there, and tomorrow, if I can't get an order from the court, then they can do whatever they want to, but not today.
Okay.
All right,
All
you tell
right.
him to leave, and she said he pushed that air conditioner in and hit her in the head.
Well, he was raising it up.
She was raising it up and her head was like that.
He wasn't raising it up. He was breaking it in and in.
Well, you tell him to leave tonight, and we'll deal with it in the morning.
Simple. All right. We sure will.
All right.
All
All
right.
right, thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. I hear you, Mr. Burnett.
They've already.
They've already got in route.
Yeah, they're already in round. You said one of them.
No, I don't. I think it's some ice. I thought it was bleeding.
It's bleeding a little bit. Not bad.
TENANT 6, did you give dispatch 21?
She endured some injuries to her eye.
Agreement, I can't see.
I can't say yes or no to that.
Show up, PD. Can you just go out there, ambulance service?
TENANT,
Cancel the ambulance service.
10-1.
Hello.
What's wrong with you?
Well, he pushed that thing on my head on purpose. Is it okay? No. And it's like getting worse. I mean, but is it okay?
Listen, they probably put ice on it.
Just some ice, okay?
They'll be over here.
They don't have to come.
Well, let them look at it.
Ah, they canceled already.
Oh, did you?
I just canceled it. She just told us don't cancel it.
Just ice.
Yeah.
I canceled it.
So,
Well, kinda, and David was supposed to take care of this today.
yeah.
David Burnett, my lawyer. And I don't think he got in touch with the judge, but he had already done it. I know what they're trying to do. The house is mine, we have documentation and everything. So, they're just trying to intimidate me and scare me to death, that's all.
Do you, I said, somebody else don't own the house, or?
No, he gave
I
it to
mean-
me as a gift.
I mean, to me, there's some type of issue,
Yes.
papers get filed, so
Yes.
they're trying to take possession back of the
Yes.
property and get you removed from the property.
Yes, and the house is mine. He gifted the house, I know.
That's more of a civil matter.
Exactly.
Until we get the court order paperwork,
Right.
where now we get involved and step in, but,
I understand.
yeah, so.
And thank y'all. And today, they broke in again and tried to
Again.
change the locks when we caught them. They ran after my cousin, which is Ralph Wilson's son, he's my cousin, with a knife or a screwdriver, he couldn't tell. But these guys are dangerous, he's a felon. Y'all, he does have a gun in his car, I don't care what he says, and he's a felon. And he scares me, and he's threatened me, he's come in here when I'm taking a shower, he is scary.
She's in fear
I
for her
fired him a
life.
long time ago. So, but he does work for Phil Baratelli, that I used to work for, that gave me the house. They've taken all my papers, but I had some left that on my phone that I gave to,
Did you
David.
have any papers filed at the courthouse on
yes,
that?
David did.
Okay.
David did all that. So, and they won't leave me alone. They know what I know. They know that I know stuff, whatever.
That's a big old house.
Yeah. I remember somebody stayed a long time ago, stayed, I know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
a long time
it's
ago.
been under construction for a long time.
Yeah.
We worked really hard on it,
Yeah.
but I fired him, and, you know, I don't work for Mr. Bertelli anymore after 5 years, so.
Well,
And
when's this supposed to start?
Huh?
When's this supposed to start happening?
Are they good to go? Yeah, they're good to go.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all are good to go.
When does stuff start happening?
About a month ago,
Oh, a month ago.
yeah. And they just won't leave me alone, and I filed police report after police report, you know. David's doing what he can do, so.
All right.
Thanks, weren't you here today?
No, I won't hear
No,
that.
we're
No.
not.
Okay, y'all are at night shift, okay. Yeah, there was like 7 police cars today when we come back. Thank you.
All right, you have a good night.
Thanks.
Well, okay. Look like we're coming to the end, y'all. There are 2 other videos. We're
Come
not
on,
going
B,
to
show
play
your
those.
face.
I think you got enough from this one video. Excuse me. To understand
You in
exactly
there?
what went on that particular night at the residence of Miss Cindy. Okay, so that's the end of that video. We're gonna go ahead and bring it back to myself now, okay? But again, ladies and gentlemen, you heard what happened there. The guy was there to claim he had a wit possession, but there was no paperwork, okay? There was no paperwork. But yet and still, for some reason or another, he was allowed to walk around the house, to fiddle with the locks to try to gain entry to the house. At first, they didn't know whether or not Mrs. Cindy was inside the house, okay? So I guess he didn't have a key to get inside. He claimed something about they started the process lockout, but they had to, I don't know, quit and leave or whatever. But nevertheless, he didn't have a key. okay, to get into the property. This is not the property owner. This is somebody who worked for the property owner, okay? I don't know who the other lady was. But yet and still, after he couldn't get through the the home, he stated that about going through the window where the air conditioner was. You all saw it. Um, if that's not a clear indication, now mind you, the police department already know they don't have any paperwork. Okay, there's no paperwork in this guy's possession that he can show them that he have a right to enter the home. I mean, they don't know him from Moses. And if they did know him, that still don't mean that he should have been allowed an entry into the house. He didn't have the paperwork to corroborate or establish that he had a lawful right to be on the property. Okay? He didn't have a lawful right to be on the property, especially if he's there to try to evict someone. You have to have paperwork in your possession, and the police officer should have demanded that. Once the police officers knew at that time that this person could not produce any kind of paperwork, then he should have been asked to leave and come back another time when he have all of his paperwork in order. Okay, that's what should have happened. All right, I'm gonna go over here to my comment board before I get into the Q&A to see if everything looks pretty good. I don't see anything in terms of people telling me that they can't see me. All right. We do want to put it out there, and we do have some ladies and I think gentlemen that's watching. We have a comment here from Mrs. Michelle. She's saying that the police were no help, and so I'm thinking that she have some information in regards to what happened that particular day. We also have cops didn't help at all. Mr. Robert A. Leonard. Then we have Miss Cindy herself. This is the victim, okay? She's the victim. I didn't want her to come on to speak for the simple fact, she's going through the legal process. She wants her day in court. She never had her day in court, okay? She never had her day in court, although that there's been some dispute with that, as you heard from the people that was talking, okay? Evidently, it's clear to me that hearing the people talk, that they don't have a good idea of how the law works, especially when it comes to eviction. They thought that they can just, I guess, draw up a piece of paper and, file it with the court and then just go over to the home and put the lady out. But it don't work that way, okay? Again, that's Miss Cindy again. So you all feel free to call in and give your comments. As Mrs. Cindy stated, bagging up my words, saying the police just, they stood by and watched. Okay, so we're going to come back and we're going to get more into the Q&A with everybody. How you doing, Mrs. There go Mr. Leonard. He said that the police did nothing. Miss Priscilla Williams, the police did nothing. We're going to come back. You all hold those comments. And there have been talk about there was not a report filed at the police department. I'm going to show you that Miss Cindy, she did go to the police department, and then she did file a police report. Okay, she did do that. All right, and so we're going to go in here and show that right now, that she did file a police report. All right, so we're pulling that up right now. Okay, and I'm going to add it to the screen right about now. All right, so let's go ahead and add that right now to the screen. And allow you to look at this report, okay? Now, this is a report. You can turn your phone landscape if you like. And I'm going to try to go through this report. I got it in my hand, and you all can pretty much just follow me. I want to get past her personal information. Okay. But if you look right there, what you're seeing right now, make sure that I get it on the screen. Yes, we do. What you're seeing right now is where it's saying battery the 3. Okay, battery 3, battery 3rd degree. All right. Now, I don't know if that's a felony, although it would be battery the 3rd, or but this is battery 3rd degree. So I'm thinking they're treating this as a misdemeanor. Okay. On this occurred on March the 21st, 2024, at approximately 11 o'clock a.m. Sergeant Jonathan Woodford was dispatched to the lobby of the police department to make contact with a subject in reference to a report and affidavit. I made contact with Miss Lucinda Leonard, who, let me take this down, who claimed, where we at? Immediately, who observed had a visible injury. Well, I made contact with Miss Lucinda Leonard, who immediately observed it had a visible injury on her left eye. The injury consisted of both purple and black marks to her left eye. She advised it that she had sustained the injury on the previous evening, 3/20/2024, when officers had been dispatched to her residence for an altercation involving a male subject identified as Jimmy George. Lucinda advised that Jimmy had arrived at her residence at approximately 8 o'clock p.m. She advised it that Jimmy had attempted to gain access to the residence through her bedroom window. She advised it that a window AC unit was present in the window and that she was telling Jimmy to stop, but he continued trying to force his way into the residence, during which time he forced the AC unit and striking and injuring Miss Lucinda. She advised it that he was continually stating, let me go down, continually stating, I will get in. I will get in. She advised it once she was struck by the AC unit. He continued by saying, this is not the last of this. I will get you and your family. Lucinda advised that she was not treated at the time of the incident for the sustained injury and that no arrest was made by authorities. There was no arrest that night, okay? She advised it. She is in fear. She talked about that. You all heard her in the video. She was in fear for her safety, well-being, and life. She advised it that she does want to pursue charges against Jimmy for this incident. Nothing further at that time. So she did want to file charges. She indicated that there was no arrest made that particular night. Okay. So that is the complaint taken by Officer Woodford. He took the complaint. And this is, I guess this pretty much the charges here. If you can see there, terroristic, threatening, and battery the 3rd. They treating both of those as misdemeanor charges, I imagine. Clearly, that was not just a home invasion. That was burglary. He had no keys. He produced no paperwork in front of the police officers. But yet and still, he thought that it was okay to remove an air conditioning, window air conditioner, to gain entry into the home. If that ain't a crime, I don't know what is. That's a felony, breaking and entering. You see it all the time in the newspaper, you know. A lot of times, you know, you don't even have to gain access to the house. You standing there fumbling around with somebody's window and you don't have a right to be there, you can't explain why you're there, then that in itself, the police and prosecutor, you know, you can be standing up in front of a judge for nothing else in an attempted burglary. Okay? That's a crime, y'all. Like I say, I'm not an attorney, but I have navigated myself around the legal system for a pretty good while. I'm not an attorney, but I do have a criminal justice degree and a paralegal degree, and so I got a general knowledge of how the legal system works. Okay, facts constituting reasonable cause. This is Miss Lucerne, I believe, giving her statement, and then we're going to come back to the board, okay? On 3/21/2024 at approximately 11 o'clock a.m., I guess this is in the morning, I, Sergeant Jonathan Woodford, was dispatched to the lobby of the police department. I want to make sure we're not reading the same thing over. Okay, and this is just a complaint. First, he gave his narrative report. Now he's taking a complaint from her. And so it's pretty much the same information. So we're not going to reread that. Just want to show you that's her signature right there. She did, swear an affidavit, I guess, for his arrest. But to my knowledge, this person has not been arrested yet, okay? So we're going to try to get past her personal information there. I don't want y'all to see that. But get past her personal information there. But there it is right there, statement. Jimmy George come to my residence to take my house. Jimmy George pushed it AC in my face. And I guess I can't read that word there, did something to her eye. I guess she meant to say smack the eye or pushed the AC into her face, and then, it hit her eye. Let me just say that. Jimmy George threatened me again. So I guess there must be a previous time that she had an encounter with this person named Jimmy George. She claimed that he threatened her once before, and he made a threat that night, saying, this is not the last time, or this is not the last of this. I will get you and your family. And that is a sworn statement by her. Okay, so that's that. Now, I want to read this here on my pause right here. Now, you see where it say landlord remedy for refusal access to rental property? Let me see if I can blow that up a little bit. I don't know if you all can see that. See if I can blow that up a little bit for you. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can blow that up. Oh, knock it down. That's a little too much. We're going to knock it down one, see what that'll do. Okay. Okay, let's see what that do. Okay, we can read that. This is a statutory law, Arkansas. Landlord remedies for refusal access to rental property. Okay, let's just say this person was refused access into the property. Okay, this person who was trying to gain entry that pushed the window AC onto the face of Mrs. Cindy. Read A right there. It say, if the tenant refuses to allow lawful access, lawful, that's the key word, lawful access. He didn't have paperwork. He couldn't substantiate or corroborate even a reason for his probable cause of being on the property, other than he worked for the property manager. If the tenant refuses to allow lawful access, the landlord may obtain injunctive relief in district court without posting bond to compel access or terminate the rental agreement. In either case, the landlord may recover actual damages and reasonable attorney fees. I say all that to say this, is that, you cannot put anyone physically out of a property without going through the process. You can't do that, okay? You cannot put anyone out of their home without going through the proper process. You can't do that, all right? You just can't do that. You must go through the process. We're going to come back to that, y'all. But I need for you all to hear me. You can't do that, okay? You can't lock them out of their house. Okay, you can't do that. That's illegal. You can't turn off the lights, the utilities. You can't do that. Speak with your attorney. You can't do that. You must go through the legal process. We have a process that when the landlord have a tenant who is occupying the property unlawful, illegally, or whatever, then they must go through the process. You know, you can't pull that John Wayne stuff, go over there and want to kick the doors in and put the folks out. And you definitely can't injure them. Come on. You can't do that. You just can't do that. All right? So let's go back to this document here. All right? Go back to this document. But that is the document, again, that's put up on the screen there. All right? You can't do that. All right. Now, this right here, let me knock this down one. It's too much. Let's knock this down one. Okay. Now, this is actually the notice of intention to issue a writ of possession. Now, they did do that, you know. They did this on, according to the file stamp date. I'm looking for a file stamp date. I don't see anything on this document here. But this is a notice of intention to issue a writ. This is just notice. No writ of possession have been granted yet. Only a court can do that, okay? This is just one of the procedures that is used when a landlord want the tenant out of his or her property. You know, after, you know, having them to sending out the previous notice to vacate or to quit the deed or whatever, and they get no response or what have you, then they must go through the process. You can't just go over there and put folks out. Whether this person is there illegally or not, they deserve their day in court, especially if they have filed an answer to the complaint or the writ of possession itself. To my understanding, David Burnett, he did all that up to the point to where, as you heard him in the video, he did not, he was not able to, I guess, to file or send, I guess, contest the writ itself. He wasn't able to do it one day, and he asked them or wanted them to return at some other point. Okay? And so you heard that. And so I won't speak for him. I'll just let the video speak for itself. You heard Mr. Burnett stating why he did not want them at the property. He asked them to leave. Okay? All right. And so I just wanted to just show you this here. This was filed, the date on March the 5th at 2:15 p.m. Now, this document, this so-called writ right here, writ, this notice of intention to issue a writ of possession. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Normally, if you have an attorney representing you, an attorney will have his signature on here. I see no attorney signature. I do see someone, I guess, work through the circuit clerk office. Miss Mason, she's the circuit clerk. And this person named, I don't know if that's Brandy or whatever, Brandon Lee, district clerk, I guess what that stands for, DC. They sign it, but I don't see anything else in here. Writ of possession. Again, there's no file stamp date on the side. It's a writ of possession. You are demanded to take the possession of the defendant herein and to deliver deliver to the possession of plaintiff without delay the following property in the OSCEOLA district of Mississippi County. That's the property that they're trying to take there. They quoting a statute there, 1863:10, is to justify the writ, I guess. Okay, now this is on witnessed by my hand. This was filed on the 19th of March. Again, only the clerk's signature. All right. Now, this is the David Burnett ex parte motion to squash the wit. David Burnett, I guess this is what he was claiming in the video, that he wanted to send. He was getting ready to file this here. You see the file stamp date. See, there's a file stamp date up there. He's acting as her attorney, and he got a file stamp date there, March the 21st, 2024. This was filed at 9:36. This was on March the 21st. Okay, and when you see that ex parte motion to squash the wit, ex parte simply means that this is an emergency. When you see that word ex parte, that means that this is an emergency. We need to try to get a court date just as quick as we can, all right? Because if we don't get that court date, whatever damages that we endure can't be undone. And so that's why they're treating it as an emergency, ex parte. That's what that means. To squash the wit, which means set the wit to aside, set it aside. In other words, squash really, to make it go away. All right? They want their day in court. The defendant, Cindy Leonard, moved to squash the writ of possession entered on the 19th day of March 2024. The defendant was served with a writ on this date without a court finding. As the attorney stated, there has not been any court finding. How are you going to get a piece of paper, wave it in the air, and go over there and say, you need to get out of here? I got this writ of possession. Yeah, you filed something with the court, with the clerk, excuse me. You filed something with the clerk. But did you go through the court process to where a judge set a hearing date and both parties go in to put on their case? That didn't happen on the day that they, to my knowledge, in reading this information, they didn't even have the wit when they went to the house. Okay, but it's clear that Mr. Burnett did file an ex parte motion to squash this wit. He said that there was some errors to it in terms of following the rules of civil procedures. Now, we'll say the attorney for the property owner, the plaintiff, their attorney did do a good job representing them. Their attorney also said that whatever filings was with the circuit court, there was problems with it, with that filing. Okay. And so whenever both sides are alleging that both parties didn't comply with the rules of civil procedure, most of the time the court would give them the word they use, cure. Cure simply means they giving them to cure the deficiency in the filing documents itself, something going on with the wording that could be, say, exhibits that were not filed, with the court filing itself. A lot of times you have they'll file a complaint, but they don't send a summons. A summons and a complaint must be filed together. And so if not, the court will look at it like, you didn't comply with the rules of civil procedures. And so what they would do, they would give one side or both sides an opportunity to cure the deficiency in their documents that they file. Okay, and so both attorneys, were making those claims. All right, and so it was. I want to show you that right here, David Burnett. He did send a certificate of service. That is just simply proof that David Burnett, he did send a certified copy to the opposing attorney. Opposing attorney here is Josh Holmes. He did send that to him as proof that he was contesting the wit of possession. Okay? And this is respond to defendant ex parte motion. And we're going to stop there and I'm going to go to the board. Come now, plaintiff Barry Retto, I can't pronounce his name. This is the guy that owned the property by and through his attorney Jake Holmes of the law office of Thompson and Holmes for its response to defendant ex parte motion to squash wit and now state as follow. This is the history. They're saying that on March the 5th, a complaint was filed. Number 2, defendant was served with this complaint and provided notice of its intention to issue a writ of possession. That's just intention. They don't have the writ yet, okay? They just send a letter, if you will, to the defendant's attorney claiming, putting them on notice that their intention is to issue a writ of possession. Okay, number 3. The writ of possession was served by the Mississippi County Sheriff Department on March the 19th, 2024. Let me stop there. I did speak with the attorney, not the attorney. I did speak with a ranking officer who works for the Mississippi County Sheriff Department, okay? I did speak with a ranking officer. He pulled the file. He did state that they did serve the writ. Okay? They did serve the writ. As you can see, that date there is March the 19th. According to the Sheriff Department stated to me that at the time that they went over to try to put Mrs. Cindy out of her home, the lockout date had not ran. Okay, it had not ran, which means there was still time left. To my recollection, I wish I'd have had that document, but they went over there, I think, what was it, the 20th, somewhere in there, the 21st, when they went by and tried to put Miss Cindy out of her home. To my understanding, the lockout date should not have been until March the 27th. That's what's speaking with a ranking officer for the Mississippi County Sheriff Department, okay? And so they were there illegally, unlawfully, if it's true that the lockout date should not have occurred until March the 27th, then why were they over there March the 20th? I think that's the date that they was over there doing this injury to Miss Cindy's eye. Why were they over there? The timeline had not ran. Still had, 6 days? Somewhere in there. But nevertheless, this guy went over there to the home and tried to physically not only enter the property illegally, but he caused injury to the homeowner or the tenant, that is, and he wasn't arrested. Responds to the motion. Okay, again, it's just, I'm not going to read all this here, but I just want to establish that there was a intent to file a writ of possession. There was a response by the attorney, and then we had the plaintiff attorney. They responded to the writ to squash. Now, let's get to this here, and this is where the decision come down, right here, if we can find it. Now, right here, they did file another motion to reconsider, or alternatively, for a hearing request on the writ of possession. Now, this is the attorney for the landlord. They were aware that that a motion to squash the writ had been filed by the defendant's attorney, and so now they come in with a motion to reconsider, or alternatively for a hearing request on the writ of possession. This writ of possession, actually, it did happen to where a judge did side with the defendant, and they gave them a court date in order for the defendant to put on her case with her attorney to have their day in court, which should have happened anyway. There had not been any hearing. The timeline in terms of the filing, had not ran. As I indicated, the sheriff ranking deputy had indicated that the lockout date should not have occurred until March the 27th. They was over there around, March the 20th, March the 21st. They was over there illegally. The lockout date had not occurred yet, which was supposed to be March the 27th. All right? Okay. And I want to show you this document judge did enter in favor of the defendant. And this is it right here. This is the order. You see that right there? This is the order. And then we're going to go to the board. This is the order. Let me blow that up a little bit. Okay. I think that'll be good enough for you all to read. Like I say, turn your phone landscape. If you're having problems with reading it, then turn your phone landscape, please. All right? Okay, see if we can read that now. Think we can. This is the order, okay? And this by Judge Dan Ritchie, circuit court judge at that time. It say, now on this 21st day of March 2024 comes on for hearing the ex parte motion of the defendant to squash a writ of possession entered by the clerk of the court on the 19th day of March 20, 2024. The court finds from the petition, statement of counsel, and other matters in facts before the court that the writ of possession should be stayed. All right? That word stayed, which means they done paused it, okay? They done paused the writ. In other words, don't do nothing yet. Okay? Do not take any action yet. We are staying the writ of possession, which means Mrs. Cindy will have her day in court. Okay? Stay. The writ of possession should be stayed and held of naught until further orders of the court. It is so ordered. Dan Ritchie, circuit judge. Okay? And of course, the attorney for the, let me get out of here. And of course, the attorney for the, I didn't know I had that up there. Let me go back and do some more here. Put myself back on the screen. All right. And of course, the attorney for the, I still got some stuff I need to remove. Let me get rid of some stuff here, okay? Let me get rid of some stuff. All right. And of course, we do have the attorney for the plaintiff asking that the judge reconsider the writ of possession in terms of the stay. There are some other things that the attorney asked, and so I don't know when is the court date, but Mrs. Cindy, of course, she will get her day in court to be heard, and that's where the judge will make a decision to whether or not the writ of possession may continue to go forward, or there is some information presented to the judge for him to rule in the defendant's favor. So I guess we can say stay tuned, okay? So that is that, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to go to my board and try to see if we got anyone that might want to go ahead and give their comments, and then I give my commentary, and we'll shut this thing down, okay? So let's go to the board right now to see if we got anyone that might want to give their comments, all right? We got those. Okay, we're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to see if I got anyone. Oh, that was Miss. I still had Mrs. Williams up. How you doing, Mrs. Williams? My strong sister. Back to you. Excuse me. We also have Mrs. Michelle. Sorry this happened to you. Guess she's sending out sorrows to Mrs. Cindy for what she endured, especially the assault upon her body. which she endured or suffered an eye injury, as you saw from the picture that I put up a few days ago. Okay. And also we have, I hate that for her. That's Mrs. Williams. Is also sending out her sorrows of what happened to Miss Cindy. And then we have my brother there. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not gonna pronounce it wrong. So I just say my brother. Once again, the system is broken, and so we down at the last comment. That is, I don't see any more comments here. Going back through them now, and so that pretty much is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I did a pretty thorough. I'm looking through the court docket as well. This is about probably, I don't know, a good 30 pages in my hand here. The court docket. All right, but Mrs. Cindy will get her day in court again. Once the police officers, there need to be more training. From the police officers when they start walking down that line to where it's a civil matter. If police officers is gonna somewhat put themselves in a situation to where they possibly can be sued themselves for whatever action or inaction that they play in this incident, because it's clear to me is that if I'm the police chief, and normally, I'm imagine they have their little meetings with the ranking, if no one else, they're having their meetings with all the ranking officers of a particular police department. If I'm the chief, I get all of my ranking officers, whether they are patrol or whether they're in the detective department. I'm speaking with my ranking officers. And I want them to assure me that not only do they understand our job, but do the police officers who took a sworn solemn oath, raising their hand to protect and serve all citizens of the community and not pick and choose, not be selective in terms of who you want to police and who you don't want to police. Because when you do that, you're stepping on the civil and constitutional rights of individuals. There should be no selective policing, what I'm saying. All right? And those police officers do not need to go out on the scene taking part into something, some activity that probably can be problematic for them in that local police department. Once whoever was the ranking officer on the scene that particular night, day at Miss Cindy's house, I think it was night. Once they was at that scene, and once they asked this man trying to establish whether or not he had a right to be at the property, once he could not produce any legal documentation to be there at the house, whoever was the ranking police officer on the scene that particular night, they should have told this young man and this lady to leave the property. Okay? It wasn't like the house wasn't going to be there the next day. It wasn't like the lady Miss Cindy was going to leave town. And so that was that. Okay? Got someone calling me. They must not know that I'm doing live here. If you're going to call in to testify, whoever that is calling, let me see if I can get them on. I know it's not going to pick up because this is on. Let me see what we have. Hello, you're on Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Go ahead, caller. Look like she hung up. Let me see if I can get her back in. Okay. Let me see if I can get her back in. Someone was just trying to call me. Okay. Um, and so we're going to try to call back. Okay. We're going to try it again. We're going to try to. Yes, go ahead, caller. Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. Okay, give me 1 minute here. Let me try to bring you on because I'm not actually hearing you. Let me bring you on. Are you still there? She went out again. I guess she didn't have a comment to make. She didn't know I was doing the show. But again, as I was stating, uh, once the ranking police officer on the scene uh, had asked enough of the woman and the man who was there, once they could not produce any documentation showing that they had a valid legal right to be on the property, the ranking officer should have immediately asked them to vacate the property. They was there illegally. They couldn't establish reasons for being on the property. They should have been asked to leave. And we have not even gotten into the injury that Mrs. Cindy had suffered. Had they not been on the property in the beginning, they was there illegally. Had they not been on the property, Mrs. Cindy would not have suffered an eye injury. Okay? She would not have suffered an eye injury. And so I'm hoping that, excuse me, the chief of police, I'm told that Miss Cindy has been trying to contact him, to have a meeting with him, to talk with him. To my understanding, the last I spoke with Miss Cindy, and she can confirm by sending a text through this broadcast right now. But to my understanding, the last in speaking with Miss Cindy, that there has been no meeting set up for her with the chief. And we're going to talk about, I keep saying that, we're going to have a discussion about the police chief of Osceola, Arkansas. I don't know what it is with the Osceola police chief, but it is clear to me, and the times hadn't been many, probably 3-4 incidents to where I attempted to speak with the chief. One time was very successful, but all the other times it seemed like the chief, it just seemed like he's just not a people's person. Let me just say that in terms of communicating. Don't like being questioned. I can clearly say that. Don't like being questioned. And if a person, in this particular case, a chief, don't like being questioned, then how are you to have a conversation? Okay? And so, hoping the mayor is listening, someone get this Facebook Live to him. He need to understand that he have a police chief that is not a people's person. His communication skills need a whole lot working on. They do. Okay? You cannot have a police chief who have a mindset that if he don't want to speak with the public, he's not going to speak to the public. You shouldn't have a chief like that. A chief should be a people's person, willing to listen, willing to meet with the community, willing to not only listen, but hopefully when he or she do speak, in this particular case it's a he, when he do speak, he can speak a message to the people to where it's well received from a mindset that they believe that the chief have their best interests at heart. And so there's some problems with the Osceola police chief. and hopefully the mayor and city council. And I want to say that about the city council as well. That photo that I put on my Facebook page showing the eye injury of Mrs. Cindy, all the city council got it. They have that same photo. I send the same information to the city council members in terms of what happened, what did not happen in terms of an arrest, in terms of the charges. These charges, they somewhat minimizing these charges. In other words, they watering it down. These should be felony charges. They called it a misdemeanor. I sent that to all the city council members. I sent it to David Burnett. I didn't know at that time that he was Miss Cindy's attorney, but he has that my information as well, and I also sent it to the mayor, Mayor Harris. So he have that information. Everyone is on page. No one could say that they don't know anything about the incident, that what happened to Mrs. Cindy at her residence. They all know. The only question is why is everybody wants to be mute? No one wants to address this issue. You know, I will say Mrs. Cindy do have a case to litigate here. She was injured right in front of the police officers, and they stood by and looked it on, knowing very well that the guy who attempted to remove the air conditioner away from the window and he injured Mrs. Cindy, they knew that was an unlawful, illegal act. That was a criminal act. That's breaking and entering. That's a felony. Okay? That's a felony. But anyway, that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for sitting with me through this broadcast. I'm going to go back to my board, and if I don't see anyone who have any comments, I'm going to conclude this show, okay? So let me go back to my board right now and see if we can go ahead and find another comment, okay? I still got my brother up there. Let me try to see if I can remove that comment, and so we can come with another comment, okay? Okay. Okay, so now, no meeting. Again, Mrs. Cindy is stating, remember I was saying that she had been making attempts to get a meeting with the police chief. She have not gotten that meeting yet, okay? And so hopefully she would get that meeting, all right? Then we also have a comment by Mrs. Cindy. This is the victim, you all, Mrs. Cindy, okay? She say 5 times the police has been called to my house because of Jimmy George. That's the guy that pushed the AC onto her face. Breaking into my house. 6 reports have been made. Did y'all hear that? That was not the first incident as it relates to this person, Jimmy George. In terms of, I guess you might want to just say harassment to Mrs. Cindy. 5 times the police have been called to her house. Okay? Because of Jimmy George. All right? 5 times. Okay? This is 5 times that the police have been called to her house because of Jimmy George. 6 reports have been made, she stated. Okay? 6 reports. All right? How you doing, Miss Luster? And so that comes down to the last questions, you all. Again, we hate what happened to Mrs. Cindy. For those of you who just tuning in, you can see my crawler, my ticker up above, where we simply talking about a woman who suffered an eye injury in front of police. Okay, that's what we're talking about today. She have gotten no justice. As she say, there's 6 reports. Police done been to her house 5 times. And so she's in fear for her life. She received an eye injury, a breaking and entering, attempted breaking and entering. And they witnessed this. But nevertheless, no charges was filed. Well, no arrest has been made. Okay? And the charges that were filed, they watered those charges down to a misdemeanor. Okay? And so, but that's what we're talking about. All right? Now, I'm getting ready to conclude this show. I don't know when my next time that I'll be doing another show. We shooting for Tuesday. I don't know exactly. I got 2 topics that I'm working on. As I say, I'm still working on a complaint from Gilmore, Arkansas residents, and so I'm still working on that. I done hit a wall right now in terms of having the contact information of all the council members, and so I need to involve them. And so to those from Gilmore, Arkansas, if you're listening in, I have not forgotten about you. It's just that I done hit a wall in terms of contact. I need to make sure that I have everybody on page, everybody on base that will know about your concerns there in Gilmore, Arkansas. Okay? OSCEOLA, we will be coming back down your area again because there's some other issues that we need to discuss. And Blytheville is yet looking to appoint its police chief. Okay? And at the same time, they had a school board meeting tonight. I don't know how it went. They was there. I really can't tell you what they was there for because from what I'm gathering, there's a whole bucket load of issues that they talking about. They talking about financial discrepancies, if you will. The Blytheville School Board, financial discrepancies. They talked about inappropriate conduct from certain school board members. I also heard talk from that existed as issues, not being able to meet with the superintendent, not giving meeting dates to meet with the superintendent. There have been disgruntled employees. One incident I heard as it relates to the assistant superintendent, and there's other issues to where there have been employees hired to where they were not vetted. I received some information the other day that there was at least one employee that worked for the Blytheville school system who has somewhat been accused or went through I don't even know if it's a court date. A court, if this person has had a court hearing or not. But there was some newspaper articles. Let me just say that newspaper articles to where a particular employee who worked for Blytheville had been accused of some financial discrepancies. Let me just say that, okay? Because I don't have the information, okay? That is, like I say, those are newspaper articles that were sent to me. I have nothing in my possession that show that any particular person has been hired for the Blytheville school system to where they have been somewhat adjudicated or went through the criminal justice process. I have no information in that regard. All I have is newspaper articles, okay? And so that's pretty much wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Blytheville will be selecting its police chief. For many of you know that I had stated that I will not be attending any more public meetings, okay? I just won't. The only meetings I will attend, public meetings, are meetings as it relates to children. If there's a kid in need, that it come through the school system or that it come through some child in the community, yeah, I will attend those meetings. for the sake of children or students. And of course, the other group is those who suffer disability, health issues, to where they're disabled, elderly, or what have you. Yes, I will be in the corner for that group as well. But everything else, meetings or what have you, to be honest with you, I don't even want to go to school board meetings anymore. Unless, of course, I just need to be there for the children, the students. Now, if the students need me there, I'll be there for sure. Okay? But other than that, I am getting back to my pledge that I made, which is to be less visible at meetings. I still will go to community functions every now and then, or what have you. But when it comes to me doing any public speaking on a particular issue, I get to decide what I want to speak on and not what people want me to speak on. Okay? So, but that's it. If anyone have any problem with Tony Hollers speaking or not speaking, let it be for the right reason. Okay? Because there's one thing I will say before I close. When a person allege that Tony Hollers is a coward for not speaking up, they don't mean that. Trust me. Because first of all, you don't believe that. You hadn't seen that. Okay? So the question then becomes, what is the real issue when people take pot shots at me like that? What really is going on? Is it personal? Because it's clear that even those who consider to be my enemies, they know good and well I ain't no coward. They know who been on the front lines when it comes to the Blythe police chief for the last 10, 15 years. All right, that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going back. Look like I got one comment that came in. I'm going to go back and look at it, and then we're going to close it out. Oh, that's just Mrs. Lomax just speaking. How you doing, Miss Lomax? We'll be coming back down toward OSCEOLA in the next week or two. You all hold it down for me, okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude my show tonight. And I want you all to really, really, really please stay engaged with your community. They need you, okay? They need your participation, all right? And please do be involved in your children's lives. That it be in the home, that it be in the community, and also, last but not least, definitely in the schools, all right? They need you. So I want to say to everyone, catch me again next week. I always say 6 o'clock p.m., but you always know that things do come up. But I'm going to get better. I'm going to get better on that 6 o'clock p.m., especially when I have guests. I try to meet that timeline, 6 o'clock p.m. So I want to say you all, you all be good and enjoy the remainder of your day. And so I just want to say peace and love. God bless. And, of course, I want to say good night. And please do jump over to my YouTube channel and do subscribe. And when you're there, please hit that bell to where you get all of my notifications when I go live.